Glenn, very good to see you. We have an important topic today. What should I do with my old 401k? 41% of people from 2014 to 2016 cashed out at least part of their 401k when leaving a job. And of that, 85% of them cashed out the entire balance. So most people are going to change several jobs before retiring. So let's talk out the options, some better than others. The first option would be to simply cash it out, but this is not your favorite.
Absolutely not, Aaron. Simply because number one, you're going to pay taxes on all of it, but also to keep in mind that this is for your retirement. This is for a future date. So these should be dollars that should be off limits. So I would not recommend cashing that out because the reality is that once you take it out, you'll spend it and it'll be gone.
Right. And kind of hurt our retirement. So the other option would be to leave that 401k with your old employer. I feel like a lot of people kind of default to this one.
Yeah, I agree with that because they don't know what to do. And that's usually
Yeah.
the easiest option just to do that. But and there's some advantages to that. You could just simply roll that over. That is easy. And if you need access to cash, usually within a 401k, you can take a loan against it. There's a provision built in if you needed to get money out for some special reasons by age 55, by 55 or before 59 and a half, then you could, whereas you could not if you were in an IRA. But most of the time, your options are going to be a little more limited staying in the 401k, but that would certainly be probably the easiest thing to do, but not necessarily the right thing to do.
Right. And we'll get into some of those specifics in a second. And you kind of touched on this one. You could roll that 401k into your new employer plan. What are those pros and cons?
Well, if you roll it over to a new plan, again, it's really easy to do. Most of the plans will have an administrator there to help you in terms of what funds to allocate in. They have these, what they call these target funds that are easy. So if someone wants to self-manage that would be an advantage to rolling it into that 401k so that they could do that on their own. And usually within that, you have, you could have lower fees, not necessarily, but a lot of times within a 401k, the fees can be a little bit less.
Right. Okay. And then the last option, which is perhaps your favorite, would be to roll that 401k into an IRA. And you said this offers many more options when it comes to investing.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely the best option because you have the most flexibility. One, it puts you in control of really planning more for your retirement because you can customize the different investment options. You have a whole lot more that you can choose from. You can begin doing more planning around that. Whereas in the 401k, you're going to be limited to that. As far as the accessibility and having access to a fiduciary, that's probably the biggest advantage is that you've got someone there where they could guide you through. It could be self-directed. You'd have to do that on your own. But certainly the flexibility of more options rolling it over is going to be more than if you just leave it in the 401k.
Right. Clearly a lot of different options, but you know what I appreciate talking it through with you, Glenn, is clearly there's no cookie cutter answer. So if somebody wants to talk through what to do with their old 401k with you, what's the best way to reach you?
One way to reach me is you can call the office at 615-661-9554. You can also shoot me an email at glenn@kfrtn.com. And I'd love to spend some time chatting with you.
Perfect. All right, Glenn, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much.